Hello, and welcome to the course in Forgiveness. I'm Dr. Danita, here to guide you through the material, which is intended to answer the question, how do I forgive? The focus in this course is on the practical application of daily intentions to assist the process of forgiveness. So far, we've been introduced to the area of forgiveness, and we reviewed the importance of being willing and accepting responsibility as two prerequisites to setting foot upon the path of forgiveness. We've also become familiar with a powerful intention that we would need to work with as an affirmation in order to do the persistent and consistent work necessary when we are becoming aware of our thoughts and our feelings, and when we're learning to guide them into the direction of forgiveness. Now, just to review, one of the most powerful intentions that you can work with on a daily basis when you're working with forgiveness is, I fully forgive you, insert name here, and I release you with love. Now here's an example intended to give you ideas of how you can work daily with this intention to forgive and release with love until one day you actually feel the release. You feel the forgiveness. You feel the peace and often the joy that comes with that. Okay, I've seen countless ex-wives and ex-husbands work with the intention stated above in order to ensure that they never remain stuck in hurt, pain, and resentment that can happen after divorce. People who learn to work with intention do so because they want to move on with their lives and they want to experience a divorce relationship based on mutual respect and love. Yes, even love. It's entirely possible to do this. Now, some of you may know of this process as cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It works because the intention is repeated like a mantra in order to guide negative thoughts and feelings to thoughts and feelings that are more conducive to health and happiness. So it requires that you constantly remain aware of your thoughts and feelings and that you intercept negativity by repeating your intention to forgive. And what this does is it short circuits the negativity and it prevents neural paths based on anger or trauma from developing and or deepening in your brain. The more that the thought flow of negativity is interrupted with different information on forgiveness, the more the synapses in your brain stop firing in the direction of negativity. And when this happens, when they stop firing together, they stop wiring together and they're freed to develop new neural path routes in your brain based on forgiveness. So, for example, let's say the ex-wife stays very aware of any negative thoughts or feelings that she may be experiencing regarding the divorce or her ex-husband. She catches herself anytime she finds herself thinking back to words he may have said, what he did to her and the children, etc. Now, as soon as she becomes aware that she's thinking about these things, she immediately begins repeating in her head, I fully forgive you, Tom Brown, and I release you with love. I fully forgive you, Tom Brown, and I release you with love. I fully forgive you, Tom Brown, and I release you with love. Okay? Saying this on the inside her head. Or she might begin to repeat any variation of this that she would have written for herself, something that resonates with exactly where she is at this phase in her healing. For example, if she's really stuck in anger still, she might begin repeating, I intend to fully forgive you one day, Tom Brown, and release you with love as quickly and easily as possible for my sake and for the sake of my children. So as she repeats this and guides her mind to thoughts of forgiveness and love, so too she guides the kind of chemicals that she's releasing in her body, the kind of neural pathways she's developing, and the kind of feelings she experiences, and her experience of reality in general. Now, when you first begin to do this, you will often experience an inner fight, which is why I call this section the dance of forgiveness. The degree of the fight that you're going to experience will depend on how long you've been running negativity through your system and how badly you desire to change your experience of life. In general, the longer you've run rage, anger, and resentment, the longer it will take to recover. And in general, the more that you desire to be free, the greater your desire, the quicker it will be for you to experience freedom, because you'll be more aware and more willing to do the thought by thought, feeling by feeling guidance required to shift your experience. However, if you begin to engage the illogical, irrational spheres of consciousness through your daily intention work, asking for help from this higher power, then anything's possible in terms of how quickly you can recover. Because, after all, this is the arena of consciousness from which miracles can be experienced. When you consistently and persistently introduce the new affirmation regarding forgiveness into your mind, the vibration that it introduces will assist you to move to other thoughts and feelings. And as soon as you notice that you've begun to think of something else, so you became aware of your negative thoughts, you popped in your affirmation intention regarding forgiveness, and you keep running it, and the moment that you become aware that you're starting to think of something else, then you know that you have successfully intervened to change your state of mind and body. Now, the more that you intervene and shift your state of mind and body, the more you'll know that it's possible to do it. And the more you know that it's possible to do it, the more aware you become. And the more aware you become, the more you do it. The more you do it, the more you begin to live in different feelings that feel better than the state of unforgiveness. And the more you live in these really great new feelings, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more aware you become when you slip into negativity and unforgiveness. Now let me just start with the dance again. So in the dance of forgiveness, the more you intervene and shift your state of mind and body, the more you know it's possible. And the more you know that it's possible, the more aware you're going to become. The more aware you become, the more you do it. And the more you do it, the more you begin to live in different feelings that feel way better than living in the state of unforgiveness. The more you live in these new feelings, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more aware you become when you slip into negativity and unforgiveness. The more aware you are, the quicker you catch your negative thoughts and implement the forgiveness mantra to lift yourself. The more you live outside the pit of unforgiveness, the better you feel. You begin to sustain life in these feelings, in these better feelings, for longer and longer periods of time. So dips into the depths of despair and the agonies of rage and anger and jealousy become few and farther between, become easier to spot and easier to get out of. Until you're living in the free peace and love that forgiveness brings for a majority of the time of your life. And that is when you experience the grace of forgiveness. Now, pretty soon you do it so often that you guide your thoughts out of negativity and toward forgiveness without even thinking about it. It becomes automatic. You develop a routine of forgiveness, and so you can practice it effortlessly. It becomes an automatic loop in your mind. That is when you experience the grace of forgiveness and the accompanying feelings of peace and joy. And now it's your turn. Find that area of your life that needs healing. Break through initial barriers and be willing to accept responsibility to change your life. Set your mantra, your intention. Become aware of your thoughts, and then begin the dance of forgiveness until it is a routine part of the way you think and your reality is peaceful and loving. Enjoy.